My name is Theodore Whitaker. I am 70 years old, and on the morning of my birthday, the morning I had lived 7 full decades on this earth, survived things that would have broken most men, built things with my bare hands and my bare will that most people only dream about. My son-in-law slid a stack of documents across my own dining room table, looked me dead in the eye, and smirked. Not smiled, smirked. The kind of smirk that carries a message. The kind of smirk that says, "I've already won, you just don't know it yet." And then he opened his mouth and said the words I will never, for the rest of my life, forget. He said, "Sign it all over. The house, the accounts, the cars, all of it. You're too old to manage it properly." 70 years old. 70 years of discipline, sacrifice, early mornings, late nights, handshakes, contracts, risk, loss, recovery, and relentless forward motion. 70 years of building something from nothing. And this man who had never built a single lasting thing in his entire life, sat at my table, in my chair, eating food paid for by my money, and told me I was too old. I want you to stay with me right now, because what I'm about to tell you is not just my story. It's a story about what happens when greedy people mistake patience for weakness, when they mistake silence for ignorance, when they mistake age for decline, and when they forget, fatally forget, that the man who built everything usually knows exactly how to protect it. Before I go any further, I need you to like this video right now, hit subscribe, and drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from, because the story I'm about to tell you deserves an audience, and I want to know who's listening. Now, let me take you back to the beginning, because you need to understand what was at stake. You need to understand who I am. And you need to understand exactly how a man like Marcus Hale thought he could walk into my life and take everything I had ever built. My name is Theodore Whitaker, and I built my life the old way, the hard way, the only way I ever knew. I grew up without much. I won't dramatize it or weaponize it, but I will say this. I understood from a very young age that no one was coming to hand me anything. Not a house, not a business, not a future. If I wanted those things, I was going to have to go out into the world and manufacture them out of sheer force of will, and I did exactly that. I started in commercial real estate when I was 26 years old, not as an investor, not as an owner. As a property manager for a small warehousing firm on the eastern edge of the city, I swept floors. I handled tenant complaints. I learned the plumbing systems, the electrical panels, the load-bearing capacities of every building under my care. I learned because I knew that knowledge was the foundation of everything that would come after, and I was right. By 32, I had saved enough to put a down payment on my